All right, y'all, 2008, 2009 Honda Odyssey. This right here is the pigtail that sits underneath the alternator on top of the compressor. When I was taking off the alternator, the wire pulled out of this piece right here. It pulled out of this piece. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna take this apart, which I already previously took it apart. I gotta solder this wire into this right here. Soldered into that. Then I gotta put it back together so that my AC can work. Because if I don't fix this before I put it back together and put the alternator back on it without fixing this piece first, the AC is not gonna work. The wire that runs to this is connected to the harness that feeds the alternator. And when you pull the alternator wire off, if you're not very careful, you'll pull this right here out if you're not paying attention. And I didn't see it when I was pulling it out in the beginning. But when I pulled it out, when I moved the alternator, I saw this wire I don't know if it was loose or it was already loose, but it couldn't have already been loose because my AC was working before I pulled it off. So I had to have pulled it off when I was pulling it out. But the alternator was very, very, very oily because I got an oil leak somewhere, and I'm pretty sure that oil leak is what caused the alternator to go bad. And it was a lot of grease in this right here too, so it made it easy for the wire to pull right out of it. But what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna solder it back together, and then I'm gonna put it back on, right, and hopefully it works. Be right back with you. All right, so right here I got a couple of inches, probably about 10 inches of this wire right here that I'm gonna have to splice into the other wire that's on the vehicle. I'm gonna want to cut about 2 to 3 centimeters on this wire because I'm gonna push them up. I'm gonna push them up to about right there, so maybe about 2 centimeters, somewhere up in the area. Be very careful not to cut your fingers, so just take your time with it. That's about all you need right there. So when I push that up in there, it's gonna go right there, right where I need it. So I'm gonna hit it with the solder and be right back with you. All right, y'all, with this process, it's very important that you take your time because you don't want to put too much on it because then it won't press back into the pigtail like it's supposed to. So just take your time. All right, y'all, we done solder them and we done press them back in. Now we gotta finish them up, yeah. Just press this back on there. So we done press that back in. Now, only thing we gotta do is put it back on. And I'll be right back with you to let you know how it turned out when I put it back together. All right, now that's it. All right, y'all. What I'm doing here is I'm soldering these lines together, fixing a problem. All right, from this point it's secured. One thing we'll be doing from this point is taping them up and putting them back together. All right, y'all. GF4 Entertainment. We out.